another video tutorial with Marklinofsweden. Today we're gonna make plank fencing. This is a very common type of fencing, especially in the early days, and very useful, I think. Plank fencing sounds not so sexy, but it can be made into something that looks really good with a few tricks. So let's not wait, let's get to it.
The planks in the fence will be cut from a balsa sheet. I sliced this 1.5mm sheet into 45mm long section, which corresponds to about 5m length lumber. I now cut planks using a special tool. I have a tutorial how to make one of these tools. Check that out. If you don't want to use that, it could be used a steel liner and a razor blade instead. Basic weathering of the plank is made by dipping the planks into a small container of wash. The wash contains from burnt umber, black and yellow acrylic paint, and also a lot of water, of course. I also drop in 1 drop of soap into this. I dip half of the planks once and half twice. The plank to the left is dipped once and the one to the right twice. The fence post is cut from a 3mm square balsa piece, and the horizontal beams is cut from a 1.5mm balsa sheet into 4mm wide strips. I aged them using the same type wash I dipped the planks in previously, so I get the same kind of color tone onto the beams. I carefully removed the planks from the plate where I had them to dry, and after that I arranged them against a steel scale like this. At this point you can control by placing them more sparsely or more dense to get more opaque look from your fence. I put some PVA glue, wood glue, onto the horizontal beam and apply the beam on top of the row of planks. I put my steel scale just to have some weight on that whilst I'm applying the other horizontal beams, a total of 4 for my fence. So here comes the other ones, and as you see I'm making now 2 fences from the same row of planks, so there will be an upper fence and a lower fence. And now I'm cutting them apart, so I will get 2 fences, which actually will be 1 fence with the same height. And I cut with a razor blade and not through, so I cut several times before I go through, otherwise there's a risk that it breaks. Now it's time for some aging. Wooden fences are typically kind of grayish in the tone, so I apply a wash here made from white acrylic gray and some burnt umber. Once the fence is dry after the wash, it's a good idea to smoothen the surface a bit using a piece of steel wool. Then the fence will look something like this. Now it's time for some heavy weathering. I use black acrylic powder and isopropanol. I dip my brush into the isopropanol and make vertical streaks along the fence like this. If I dip often, I get a lighter tone of the color I'm applying powder of. If I dip more seldom, I get a heavier tone. So I vary this to get some variance in the color on the fence. Then I move over to white, and I put white mainly on the lower part of the fence like this. And finally I add some significant amount of gray powder on top of the fence and streak that out with vertical streaks with isopropanol. You can experiment with these 3 powders, white, gray and black, to get the appearance on the fence you like. The prototype for the fence I'm modeling has a concrete foot which sticks up a bit over ground, and it's molded in a pipe, a kind of paper pipe. So I'm modeling this from a piece of a cotton pin, which I first grind a bit to get that gray color to stick to properly. I paint the cotton stick with a gray paint, and then I cut the cotton pin to short concrete foot pieces. And then I stick the concrete foot onto the bottom of the post. I use a steel scale to measure and mark the position where I want my posts for the fence. Then I remove the needles, the markers, and I put the posts in place. And there the fast set glue has set. So once all the posts are in place, I just fix the fence to the post using fast set glue, which is a cyanoacrylate type glue. If you have a kind of a door and you need hinges for it, those can easily be done by using a piece of aluminum or steel can. I firstly cut away the top and the bottom of the can. Once I have the metal sheet, I sand both sides so I get a metal shine look on both sides and get rid of the label, whatever it is. And then I cut away 1mm strip of this metal sheet. I sand it to get rid of all the sharp edges. The pin in the hinges is made from a 0.5mm piano steel wire. I push the sheet metal to one side of the pin, and then I cut the pin to right length. Now this part of the hinge is fixed using fast set glue. So this one will not rotate. And then edges can be trimmed if you like a trimmed appearance. And then I form also the other side of the hinge around the pin. This side will not be fixed, but re-rotating. The hinge is fixed on the fence using fast set glue. And this is the final result.
Alright, so not so complicated, and actually fence can be made look very nice. It kind of gives a frame to the area you want to highlight on your layout, so it's a good thing. Thank you very much for watching the tutorial. If you like it, please help me by giving it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of the videos I have on my channel and be the first one to see it, subscribe to the channel. You will get a notification once the next video goes live. Until that happens, see ya.
Marklinofsweden is also available on the following media platforms: mrrtutorials.com, complete video listings sorted under topic. Facebook, here you find the latest and greatest with Marklinofsweden. All new videos are also published here. Instagram, snapshots from the miniature world. Pinterest, links to cool miniature stuff. And Google+. Here you will also find the latest and greatest as well as new video releases.